This is In the Know for Wednesday, April 1, the 91st day of 2026. There are 274 days left in the year. This is April Fool's Day. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station, 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com. Via the Apple and Android smartphone app, using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Big launch scheduled for tomorrow. Got a summit that you need to know about for tomorrow. And we'll just cover that and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beej. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good.
I read something this morning that, I don't know, maybe somebody will get some benefit from. A new study says short bursts of intense exercise beats long workouts for health benefits. So doing short intensity and then taking a break and then doing reps again later, better than just like long term. Does that help you at all?
I just need to do something, period, so maybe.
In football conditioning, I hated it that we just had to run. But in baseball conditioning, I loved it because we would sprint down and walk back just to be able to like run bases and that type of thing. Mm-hmm. So I enjoyed that type of conditioning more. But doing miles and miles on the treadmill, I'm just doing kind of like longer without high intensity. So I might be doing it wrong.
Well, I mean, whatever works for you, I suppose. But I don't know. I mean, where would you do these short bursts?
I guess I could run to the mailbox.
I was going to say the driveway is kind of your only, because if you attempt short bursts like behind our house, you're going to end up in the creek.
You'd end up in Caney Creek eventually if you have to be awfully careful. Over there in chair number 3, we say good morning and welcome back. She is back. She is Grayson County Extension Services Ag Agent. She is Miss Whitney Carmen. Morning.
Morning.
Welcome back.
I'm glad to be here.
Good to see you. Your family, I suppose, is getting ready for spring break.
We are.
Looking forward to it, I hope.
Yes, very much so.
They call it just a break. It doesn't matter when the break comes.
That's
Enjoy
exactly
the break.
Right.
I guess before you go, you have to be part of a big event tomorrow. You have your summit. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, so it's the Extension Disaster Preparedness Program, and we are working with our community partners on that. And it is from 4:30 to 6:30, 4 to 6:30.
4:30 to 6:30.
Yeah, 4:30 to 6:30. I was going to say we've changed the times this year. So it's going to be at the Extension office. It is a free event. It's going to have vendors there that are, that have information for you on how to, prepare for preparedness for any kind of disaster, weather related or otherwise. And they're going to have the meteorologist from UK, Mr. Matt Dixon. He is going to be giving some presentation on, just the history of Kentucky weather and how it's changed and, how we're trying to better prepare ourselves for that.
Will that happen periodically or will that happen at a specific time?
He's the capstone. So he will be there around, he's actually got class on campus. And so he's going to be rushing in. So he'll be there right around, I want to say 5 o'clock or so. So if you're there by 5:30, he will, or 5 o'clock, he will be presenting at that point as soon as he gets here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's okay if I'm like fashionably late tomorrow
I think
show
so.
up and still meet Matt.
But I do think they're going to have door prizes and things to give away. So, but I do think you have to be present to win. So just, do understand that.
Okay. So hang around to the end. If you go early, then stay because you might miss out on the great prizes. But that's at the extension office. And is there a particular door that we should direct people to?
The front door.
Front door?
Yeah, front door. We'll be right there.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow from 4:30 until 6:30. It is the spring storm season, so it's kind of timely that we be having these conversations. Scattered storms are returning to the forecast for today. We'll see afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms, near record warmth for your Thursday, and then longer term warm with storms at times into the holiday weekend, but then a chilly Easter. We will see today a high of 80 degrees, a high of 85 tonight or tomorrow after an overnight low of 64. Rain chances about 30% for tomorrow, down from 80% today. Then on Friday, about a 60% chance of rain for Good Friday. We'll see about the same thing for Saturday. And then cool for your Easter Sunday. 55 degrees is your high for Sunday. And then Monday back to 62, 58, 60. So the first 3 days of spring break next week look a little bit cool here between the lakes. So you might adjust your plans accordingly because the warmth appears to be coming later on in the week. The weather for the Florida Space Coast looks good for this evening's, depending upon it's kind of evening in Florida, but still 5:24 Central Time. Artemis is being launched from the Kennedy Space Center after a delay of about a month, I think a little over a month. They were trying to do it in February toward the end. And so they set out the month of March. And so several things have to, cloud cover has to be a certain way. There can't be any precipitation. Winds have to be a certain thing. And then temperature has to be between 34 and I think 90 is the maximum temperature. So this evening, Artemis is scheduled to go on America's return to the moon. Now, won't be doing a lunar landing on this trip, but for the first time in decades, we'll be going back to the moon in preparation for a visit to the lunar surface that will be on a subsequent Artemis trip. And then the purposes of going back to the moon, not only to revisit, but then also use that as a base of operation for future travel to Mars. And so this, I think I read this morning, this trip will be the furthest that we've ever sent humans into space. So they will be going beyond the moon and then returning. So I don't know that it'll be a lot longer than the moon, a lot further than the moon, but technically will be the furthest on this Artemis launch. That's at 5:24. So I'm going to try and make sure that we don't miss it today. Have you all seen socially the videos that Kid Rock shared over the weekend?
Yeah, I've seen a picture of it. Yeah,
the helicopters buzzing, doing a flyby of his house. And so, if you're on one side of the political aisle, you like it. If you're on the other side, what are they doing? They're wasting the money, et cetera, et cetera. And so Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, says, no punishment, no investigation, carry on, patriots. They did get temporarily suspended. This stems from, Kid Rock did I think it was with the ABC affiliate in Nashville, maybe CBS, WKRN, I can't remember their affiliation right off, but he said that they frequently, they fly near his house a lot anyway. And back in Thanksgiving, he was at Fort Campbell with Vice President Vance, and he was talking to some of the pilots. And he asked him, he said, do you see me waving at you when you all fly by the house? And he's like, and he goes on to say while he was there, he said, you're welcome in my neighborhood anytime. And he said, just, it was kind of funny. His house that he built kind of resembles the White House. And in fact, it's got that sign up that says the Southern White House, and he's got a replica of the Statue of Delivery, as Taylor would say. And so he just, kind of saluted at him and went on. If it raises the morale of the troops, then I think it's fine.
Listen, they're over Blancett Lake all of the time because we're right there at the airport, and they will. It sounds like they're going to land on our roof. So I mean, if it's part of their flight plan, I mean, I don't know. I guess there's just bigger things to worry about.
They frequently fly over that area of Tennessee anyway on training missions. They, it's not uncommon to see because Fort Campbell is so close out at Clarksville, but. Yes, the Grayson County Airport, when we lived next door, I mean, it was all the time. I mean, it was great for plane spotting. But again, it just kind of goes back to if you're in favor of the current administration, the way of doing things, you think, hashtag America. And then if you're on the other side, you go, well, what are we doing? What are we wasting our time with, et cetera? And I don't suppose that's going to change. A bipartisan measure sponsored by our state representative, Samara Heverin, that aligns the state's social work laws with the needs of the workforce is headed to Governor Beshear's desk. House Bill 424 aims to modernize Kentucky social work laws by exempting students or trainees from social work licensure requirements. The measure further directs the Kentucky Board of Social Work to draft regulations to define supervision standards for student involvement in clinical social work. The legislation would additionally establish licensure standards, including use of a multi-state license, criminal background checks, and telehealth, and require that at least one licensee member of the board be a teacher actively engaged in social work education. That's according to her office. She called her work on this a labor of love. She said, working on House Bill 424 has been a true labor of love. The bill is the result of years of work and collaboration, and I'm really proud of the product that we have created. Passage of this measure in both the House and Senate represents a strong commitment from the General Assembly to strengthen the state's social work profession, and now heads over to the governor's desk, where I presume, I can't see why he would object to that. It seemed to have bipartisan support all the way around. Speaking of the legislature, this today will be the second of what they have labeled concurrence days. So tomorrow we'll be giving you a lot more activity that they go through today. And this is where they just basically just kind of run through the things that are on the schedule to get through. They've come out of committee. Now they're on the House or Senate floor, and now they need to get it voted on. So they go over to the governor, and then they build in enough pad that then if they need to do a veto override, they have the days left to do that, because they're limited to 60. Among the bills that got concurrence in the House to Senate changes include House Bill 4, making grooming a minor for sexual purposes or other prohibited activity, passed 92 to nothing. House Bill 7, allowing cameras to be installed on school bus stop arms to catch those passing school buses while loading or unloading, passed 79 to 11. House Bill 58 restricts the use of automated license plate readers, cleared 70 to 19. House Bill 78 establishes liability protections for manufacturers and sellers of firearms against specific legal actions. That passed 76-16. House Bill 134 requires the Cabinet for Health and Family Services to employ a health professional as a statewide sexual assault nurse examiner coordinator. That passed 91 to nothing. And then House Bill 555 is the first time I heard of this morning. Authorizes local school boards to permit student-based enterprises within their district to sell competitive foods throughout the school day, and that passed 95 to 1. The particulars of that were a little bit interesting to me. And then they did override they did override the veto of Governor Beshear on Senate Bill 183. That is kind of confusing to me, but it says it requires proxy advisors to notify and disclose certain information to shareholders in a company doing business in Kentucky and to the company that is subject to the proxy advisory service when the proxy advisor is not solely in the interest of shareholders. I don't know what any of that means. Perhaps it means something to you.
I wonder if it has anything to do with Blue Oval.
Well, I guess he actually cited in his veto, he explained, and it, again, it's about as clear as mud to me. He said, I'm vetoing Senate Bill 183 at the request of faith-based organizations that believe it infringes on their First Amendment rights. So, I'm kind of confused on how all that works. The mayor of London has been indicted for making excessive contributions to the Beshear campaign, as well as to the Kentucky Democratic primary. 44-year-old Randall Weddle was indicted by a Laurel County grand jury on 4 counts of campaign contribution, restriction, expenditure limits, etc. He was first elected as mayor in 2022. He's accused of putting $223,000 in campaign donations he made on behalf of family members and associates on his personal credit card, essentially shielding his own donations behind other people's names in order to skirt state and federal donor limits. That's according to the Attorney General's office. His attorneys say that he was unaware that he couldn't do that, and once he was told that he couldn't, that they went through the steps to make it right, that the refunds were given, etc. So I'm not sure why they continue to pursue it, but it appears that they are, and at least a grand jury thinks that it's worthy of talking more about. Franklin Circuit Judge Philip Shepard has thrown out the Kentucky House of Representatives resolution impeaching Fayette Circuit Judge Julie Goodman in an opinion and order that was handed down Tuesday. It's a 20-page opinion, and Judge Shepard said the impeachment petition filed by a partisan political candidate seeking election to the House of Representatives makes no allegation of criminal conduct, violation of any civil or penal statute or regulation, and it does not set forth any statutory or regulatory violation allegedly committed by Judge Goodman. So I don't know what happens next, but that's at least what Judge Shepard said. A teenager is facing a DUI and fleeing police charges after a pursuit ended near Irvington. It began early Tuesday morning at about 9:30 in Meade County when deputies noticed a vehicle traveling 80 to 90 miles an hour on Highway 2727 near Ekron. The pursuit entered Breckinridge County, where deputies there and Irvington officers joined the chase. The pursuit ended on Norton Road in Irvington. 18-year-old Connor Kearns of Brandenburg was arrested and charged with DUI, aggravating circumstances, and a list of other charges as well, and lodged in the Meade County Detention Center. Both Cougar tennis teams swept Muhlenberg County last night at the Cougar Courts. The Lady Cougars won 7-0, losing only one game in the 7 matches played. The Lady Cougars are now 7-0 on the season, 4-0 in the third region. The boys won 9-0, only losing, they won all 9 matches, just lost 7 games total across those 9 matches. The boys are 6-1 now, 4-0 in the third region. They'll get their first taste of district action, or regional action, tomorrow when they travel down to Owensboro to play the Davis County Panthers at Moreland Park. Also at yesterday's match, the Cougar boys team surprised Coach Vincent with some throwback uniforms. They showed up wearing the design of the Cougar uniforms from the 1994 to 1997 team. We'll try and get a picture to you later. But anyway, it was kind of a neat little throwback that caught her by surprise. And then Greg sent some pictures over of the comparing the two squads. Anyways, nice touch. Cougar tennis team's off to a tremendously good start. Travis Ford was officially announced yesterday as the new head coach at Arkansas Little Rock. So we can cheer for that Arkansas school, but we can't cheer for the others. This is like his 6th job or something like that. I was
going to say, he's well-traveled.
He was at St. Louis, and he was doing a lot. He did television this last season. I guess he was in between jobs. Sounds like, the old adage is the portal giveth and the portal taketh away. We heard some of what the portal is going to take away from the Kentucky Wildcats a couple of days ago, and it sounds like Cards are losing Frew and Ruths to enter the transfer portal. The portal opens April 7th, so right after the national championship game on Tuesday. It opens on Tuesday, the 7th, and will be open through April the 22nd. And then the signing period for basketball begins on April the 15th. So there will be a bunch of moving and shaking next week on the college basketball landscape once that season officially ends. And then Tiger Woods finally broke his silence. I don't know, finally broke his silence. It just happened a couple of days ago. But he said yesterday that he is stepping away to seek treatment 4 days after his vehicle crashed in Florida, and he was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence. He will miss the Masters for the 2nd straight year. That's what he's been working on, is trying to see if he's fit enough to play in the Masters. He says, "This is necessary in order for me to prioritize my well-being and work toward lasting recovery." It was a pretty well-written statement. I'm sure it's his sentiment. He didn't write it. I'm sure he had a person write it, but it said all the right things. Now, if he does all the right things, and not just a break from competition, he plays a role on the PGA Tour board. His captaincy of the Ryder Cup for next year is going to be in a little bit of a question. So he told arresting officers, by the way, I think I had made a note of it. Yeah, he told the arresting officers that he has undergone 7 back surgeries and over 20 surgeries on his right leg, and that his ankle seizes up while walking. So certainly not making any excuses for him, but you certainly could understand how a person that is, an athlete trying to manage that amount of pain, how it can very quickly and easily get away from you, considering the level of medications required to try and manage that pain. And so hopefully, he will do just what he said. Go get the work done toward lasting recovery. So hope all the best for him. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County, because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
If you're like most business owners, you likely thought that managing finances would never end. Well, relief is here, and Buckles, Travis & Hart awaits you. Streamline your operations with our expert payroll processing, tax liability management, unemployment reporting, and financial reporting services. Stay lean. Stay focused. It's all here with Buckles, Travis, and Hart. Transform your business today at GraysonCPAs.com. Call 259-5604. Your built-in business manager.
Heard the story of your tattoo? That late-night dare with friends seemed brilliant, right? But now, it's not so funny during board meetings or at church.
Time to erase that past with Pure Aesthetics and Wellness. Our Q-Switch treatment wipes away embarrassing ink in just 6 to 12 sessions. Say goodbye to regrets and hello to fresh skin. Visit us on West White Oak, Litchfield, or find us on Facebook to make an appointment.
The rig-free zone starts here.
By day, we're teachers,
nurses,
engineers,
managers.
We come from different backgrounds with different skills and busy lives.
But when a child needs someone in their corner, we show up the same way.
Because while we serve many roles, we share one mission.
To be the voice for the voiceless and build hope for children across our region.
That's the role of a CASA volunteer.
Right now, there's a child in your community who needs someone in their corner. We're looking for people like you to step up and be their voice. You don't need a legal background or a background in social services to be a CASA volunteer. You just need the willingness to show up for a child. You can learn more about how to become a CASA volunteer at casaheartland.org/volunteer.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education, close to home, at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now registering for classes that begin June 1st. Call 270-259-1540 or visit elizabethtown.actcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
A new report says advanced AI models are getting frighteningly good at hacking. Axios says much of the concern centers around Anthropic's upcoming model that's currently named Mythos. Some tech experts are foreseeing a massive wave of sophisticated hacks that are driven by new AI models. Although it's still far behind OpenAI, Anthropic is seeing its user base grow dramatically. Anthropic tells TechCrunch that their number of paid subscribers has doubled since the start of 2026. It comes as the AI company is grabbing headlines for battling a proposed Pentagon ban. When OpenAI shut down the Sora app last week, it was a surprise because the AI-driven video app launched with a big splash 6 months ago. Well, now the Wall Street Journal says it quickly turned into a money pit. Apparently, OpenAI decided their resources were better focused on building more AI-driven computer coding systems. And Apple is reportedly working on a foldable iPhone. Bloomberg says it'll probably be unveiled in September. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with Farrah. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine.
Today is Holy Wednesday. That means tomorrow, Maundy Thursday. It's Jump in Muddy Puddles Day.
There is no muddy puddles around right now.
Could be by the end of the day.
Hope so. We need it.
And it's Trombone Players Day today. So Sam's celebrating tremendously today. And then it's, of course, April Fool's Day today. Whitney, you all doing any pranks, or you all have any rules against pranks? Or
we really don't.
You
I
almost
can't
seem
think
like a prankster.
Well, I mean, Kyle can be, but we have not participated in that. I am. Listen, I am exhausted. I'm not even the athlete, and I'm exhausted from driving. So yeah, I can't even do it.
It might make you wonder. So why is this significant? Mm-hmm. You know, why is I ran into someone while we were at the state tournament. Somebody who works in the media in Lexington, and said that they started their job in Lexington on April the 1st. And I said, "You started a job on April Fool's Day?" Mm-hmm. Yeah. I said, "Well, it'll be hard to ever forget that that's when it was." But the exact root of April Fool's Day is a little bit unclear, but there are a few theories. One traces back to ancient Rome, when the festival of Hilaria, which is Latin for joyful, and where we get our word hilarious, was celebrated in late March. It was a time for games, costumes, and lighthearted mockery. Another popular theory links the tradition to the 16th century calendar reforms. Pope Gregory XIII ordered Christian nations to adopt the Gregorian calendar in 1582, which shifted New Year's Day from late March to its current calendar placeholder on January the 1st. But not everyone got the memo or refused to accept the change. So those who continued celebrating the old New Year in April were mocked as April Fools.
Got it.
That one sounds pretty. I think a combination of those two things actually could very well be true, because you're making fools of people, but there's some lighthearted mockery to the kind of joyful and playful type of thing. There are some unforgettable April Fool's Day pranks. They're kind of infamous. In 1957, the British Broadcasting Corporation aired a hoax report claiming that Swiss farmers had successfully grown spaghetti trees. That's more believable than money trees, I suppose.
Yeah.
A prankster in Alaska in 1974 went to the top of Mount Edgecumbe and started a fire that made the people of Sitka, Alaska, believe that their long dormant volcano was erupting.
Oh, that's funny.
In 1988, a man posted a satirical article claiming that Alabama's state legislature had passed a law redefining pi as exactly 3.0 to align with biblical principles. The state got hundreds of outraged phone calls. I don't know if it's from the math community or the Christian community. I'm not sure. 1992, NPR's Talk of the Nation program announced Richard Nixon, who in 1974 became the only U.S. president to resign from office, was running for president again, claiming, "I never did anything wrong and I won't do it again." And then in 1996, Taco Bell ran a full-page newspaper ad declaring it had purchased the Liberty Bell and was renaming it the Taco Liberty Bell.
When was this?
1996.
I was going to say, I think I remember that.
Yeah, I've already seen, several attempts at things that people are trying to do today, being a little humorous. So, Whitney, do your kids listen to you the first time you tell them to do something?
No.
They don't?
Not in the least. No. I would like to think that they do, but they do not. It's their age, I think.
Do you feel like Alea takes more than once, or you think she's pretty good?
I think she's pretty good.
Here are 3 reasons why kids don't listen to you the first time. Number 1, you give the direction too many times. You tell them at least 24 times to put their shoes on when heading out the door before ultimately resorting to screaming at them and forcing the shoes on their feet. So the reason this doesn't work is because your child has learned that they can just ignore your request because you'll inevitably say it again.
That is my problem. I think sometimes I am not patient enough with them, and that is my fault. But that tracks in my case.
What to do instead? You are only going to give the direction once, and then you'll move into support mode by helping them gather what they need to get the task done. So that conditions them that you're only going to say something one time.
Will that work with my 14-year-old? Because I feel like it's a lost cause at this point.
I think I do that if she, I don't know that she just doesn't do what I say, though.
One of the things that I've
do
noticed,
it eventually, but it takes forever. Not on my timeline.
But our situation's different, too.
it seemed like we've been intentional about when she was younger, giving her one thing to do and waiting for her to complete that. And then she's grown, you can give her 2 tasks.
Yeah, sure.
And then 3, make your bed, change clothes, brush your teeth. Do those 3, and
Yes.
she'll get all 3 done instead of having to do them one by one.
Silas will do that. He's gotten into the habit of, he is dressing himself, and I'm like, go get your stuff together, and he'll go, can you help me? And I'll be like, no, you try first. You try first.
Try first.
Yeah.
Number 2, you are giving directions from all the way across the house. And the reason this doesn't work is you are not the most important thing in your child's world at that moment. What to do instead? When you are giving a kid a direction, you need to be within arm's distance, according to a doctor who is apparently an expert, says to listen, they need you to be what she says, salient.
You mean you can't write the note that says, if this doesn't get home done by the time I get home, I'm...
I love notes.
Well,
notes are my favorite.
Oh, yeah, mine too, but...
You each were within arm's reach of the note.
Yes. Just saying.
You are using too many words.
Yeah.
This can be anything from not breaking a transition down into small chunks to providing unclear instructions. The reason it doesn't work, it can look like rationalizing or negotiating, which puts you in a position of asking for instead of requiring for the behavior. What to do instead, give the direction one single time. If you need to give the direction again, you are moving into support mode. And do not use words like no, not, don't, stop out of the directions you're giving. Use affirmative, positive tones as far as you will accomplish this, or
We are going to.
We do that, but
Well-
I'm terrible about, hey, you didn't get this done, and now you need to do this, and this because you didn't get this done. You know,
So I caught myself with Brady over the weekend. I don't use requests, right? Because you probably don't want to do it, right? So why don't you go ahead? No, it is go do. So, but with Brady at nap time, oh, come on, don't you want to take a nap? I mean, yes, he does, but no.
playing is more
So
fun.
I caught myself and I was like, you got to go back. We are going to take a nap. It is nap time, right? There is no negotiation with me.
well, that's what we do. Yeah, don't you want to? Like,
No.
No, I don't want to.
You gave me an option, and I'm going to exercise my right to say no.
It's not a suggestion; it is a
exactly.
statement. That's what I've had to tell
And
mine lately.
It is so hard. I mean, what you do in these instances does make a difference, but we're all relying just upon human nature. We're just responding to a set of dynamics the way we would like to, rather than the way we would need to or should do. But I think we're all trying pretty hard, at least it appears so. But here are things when you're kind of struggling or challenging yourself to be a better parent. You know all of these things, but it doesn't help to have them as a reminder to maybe be a little more successful. Take your time and slow down.
Yeah.
Those
That's
days
my number one problem.
when you're running to 3 different extracurricular activities and you forgot to bring snacks and you go. And so is one of the easiest ways a parent can be aware of her children is to slow down. The slower the pace, the more you pick up. And awareness comes from having the space to notice. Andy, it's on the Rick Burgess show. He talks about being a noticer. I'm a noticer. Get to know their friends and welcome them into your home.
Yeah.
The best way to protect them against poor friendships is to get a firsthand account of who they're dealing with. Listen when they speak, especially in some cases when it's so rare that they do.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
No, I don't know.
What was for lunch at school
It was
today?
good.
I don't remember.
Yes. Or how was this? It was fine. How did you do? I did fine. Okay.
And I thought I was being clever for a long time. Instead of how was your day, I would do, what was the best part of your day?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, they figured it out.
Or nothing. Then what was the worst part? I don't think nothing. I'm like, okay, well, this is not getting us anywhere any better. Put the phone down and enjoy each other. Bake with them.
I don't like to bake as it is.
Right.
But we do other things together. So
Well, I think you can substitute that with anything else. Be present while they do their homework.
my kids don't have a ton of homework. They get it done at
She
school.
doesn't either.
Yeah, she doesn't have much either.
Now they will say, now Caroline more than Jackson, she's my studier. She likes to make sure and so she will ask me, hey, will you help me with this? And so I help her. But as far as the other ones, they don't really need it. So.
Take each kid on a date at least once a month. So, Whitney, in your case, this constitutes going from the bleachers to the concession stand and back to the bleachers.
I will say,
Your turn
I will say, I did get to do. I spent the week. We split, and so I did get to spend the weekend with Jackson, which I don't typically get to do. And so it was. Now, was he ever? He had his own room and he had his buddies, and so I was the afterthought. But the 2.5 hour to and from was nice.
Yeah.
I have a friend that I graduated with, and I always love it. She does it with her 3, and I always enjoy seeing her post on Facebook about what they do on their and she
Yes Day
she
or
names
whatever.
it. Yes, whatever kid's day it is. I love it.
There was in the golden ticket seats yesterday. There was a lady named Gwen, and her husband he sets aside one day a week that she gets to do whatever it is that she wants, and they go wherever she wants, and they call it Gwen's Day.
That's funny.
Well, that's and it doesn't fall on Wednesday all the time,
I mean,
but
that
they
would
just
be,
call it Wednesday.
that's a missed opportunity.
Yes.
Yep. Talk to them about what they're reading. That's a good. I mean.
Or what they're doing at school. You know, like Jackson's they're learning about the Civil War right now. So he's asking some questions about that because, you know, it's interesting to them.
Stay at their activities and watch and participate in activities alongside them.
Yeah, I got that. Check.
So those are all things that you can do. And sound like presence. Just being present is requires a lot of it. And what else did you need to know? And I read. If your kids are grouchy in the morning, it could be your fault.
Yeah.
Child behavioral experts say that if you show grouchiness first thing in the morning, your kids will mimic that and they're grouchy too.
But what if your kid is the reason why you're grouchy? Because they didn't wake up when they were supposed to.
Well, I think if you just try really hard.
Yeah.
You know, if you'll power through and be a little more sunshiny, maybe it will be contagious as well. So anyway, we're just trying to do the best we can.
That's right.
We got to get to a break. Today's Did You Know is coming up here on In the Know.
Midway Pharmacy might not have the best selection of fashion accessories, and that's because they're much more interested in your health and less interested in whether or not you're styling. At Midway Pharmacy, you're getting more than a pharmacy. You're getting a pharmacist who's committed to working with you on all things health-related. Rely upon the full team of pharmacists at Midway Pharmacy. Experience what matters the most when you visit any county-wide location of Midway Pharmacy.
The Disaster Preparedness Summit by Grayson County Extension Service equips you for the unexpected. Join us April 2nd from 4:30 to 6:30 at the Extension Office on Quarry Road. Learn from University of Kentucky meteorologist Matt Dixon and local experts as they share insights on weather patterns, emergency strategies, and resilience building. Connect with organizations at the Resource Expo for tools and advice. Admission is free and all are welcome. Email natalie.tull@uky.edu for details.
Looking for a place to connect and make a difference? At the Moose Lodge, you'll be stepping into a place where children find hope and seniors find care. Experience the fun of gaming and drinks while socializing with other members in our licensed lounge. We are inviting qualified guests to visit and consider membership. Be part of something meaningful. The Grayson County Moose Lodge is at 289 Alex Drive in Falls of Rough, where community meets connection. Stop by or follow us on Facebook for more information.
You know, I heard that some people think a staycation is adventurous.
Staycation? That's just a fancy word for staying home.
Exactly. Why not set sail with your global getaway?
You mean like a cruise?
Yes. With Royal Caribbean, you can have weddings, honeymoons, even vow renewals at sea.
And no seasickness from staying on the couch.
Your global getaway. Adventure awaits on every wave. Connect on socials at Your Global Getaway or yourglobalgetaway.com and start planning today.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp now for free information on how to get started today. InventHelp provides invention services that help everyday inventors get started with their idea. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. Our services include professional materials needed to showcase your invention, and 3D animation and prototype modeling that help you demonstrate your idea. Get down to the details of your idea with a technical drawing. The InventHelp Databank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Take advantage of the opportunity to get started today.
Call us for free information at 1-800-577-2648. That's 1-800-577-2648. Again, 1-800-577-2648.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today.
K105, Weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team, is brought to you by Your Global Getaway. Start planning your adventure now at yourglobalgetaway.com.
Twin Lakes weather. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are possible this afternoon. Some of these can produce some heavy rain and some gusty winds as they move by. Outside of that, a mix of sun and clouds today with highs near 80 degrees. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies jump to the low to mid 80s for highs as we also deal with some gusty winds and some isolated rain chances. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Did you know, this is not an April Fool's joke, I promise. Did you know that your tongue has a dominant side, just like left or right-handedness?
I said that, yeah. Considering I bite the left side of my tongue more often than not, I'm going to go with yes.
Most people's tongues are stronger on the same side that they tend to chew on. I mean, it's a muscle, and so you just you condition it in the same way. So that's not too much of a surprise. But I don't guess I'd ever heard that. I'm left-handed. I'm right-handed. I'm left-tongued. What? Apparently, the TSA. Most of the TSA workers have been paid this week by now. They checks started rolling on Monday, but
Thankfully.
something happened. Yeah, thankfully. Something happened last week that was a little bit interesting to me at the Jackson Hartsfield Airport in Atlanta. Tyler Perry had gone to the airport and wanted to pay the TSA workers that were working without pay.
Mm-hmm.
And so federal rules prohibit direct cash gifts to federal employees. So then his team worked with airport management to get them $1,000 gift cards.
Yes.
So they distributed those to them. And then the federal security director later raised concerns about the distribution of those. So they had to undo that and walk that back. But some of them had already used a portion of So I don't know how they're going to settle that up.
And then isn't there a priest in Lexington that did the same thing with gift cards for, they were fast food and Amazon type gift cards as well.
I don't know.
He did that recently as well. So
yeah,
because same rule, like you can't just give them money.
I think the gesture in itself was a morale booster for people, even if it if it bridged the gap until they were able to get paid, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, it was back pay. So the checks they received, it didn't make it any easier for their utilities to be threatened to be turned off or not being able to pay their rent, et cetera. In case you missed it and you're a Swiftie, Taylor Swift has surprise dropped a new music video for her Elizabeth Taylor song, which is the third single from The Life of a Showgirl. So the video is out today. It credits the House of Taylor and Elizabeth Taylor Trust, the Todd family, and the Wilding family. She actually, before she wrote the song, she reached out to the family for permission or blessing, at least. And so they're thrilled with the way that it turned out. And the family was talking about how there are kind of similarities between the career arc of Elizabeth Taylor and the career arc of Taylor Swift. The Supergirl trailer is out. Millie Alcox is playing is Supergirl. When an unexpected and ruthless adversary strikes too close to home, Kara Zor-El, also known as Supergirl, reluctantly joins forces with an unlikely companion and an epic interstellar journey of vengeance and justice. Jason Momoa is in the movie. He does not play Aquaman. He plays a character called Lobo, and it will come to theaters on June 26th of 2026.
I recognize the girl.
I know.
Think
I
I've
keep
seen her in
looking.
something else before.
And if you are a healthcare worker and the 10 Alamo Draft House locations have partnered with HBO Max to advance screen The Pit Season 2 finale on April the 13th, 3 days before it comes out on HBO Max on April the 16th. So they're having these healthcare appreciation events around the country at various places. New York, Boston, Raleigh, Naples, Dallas, Austin, Denver, San Francisco, Twin Cities, and Los Angeles. And the tickets are free, but I think they're requiring that you buy like $10 worth of concessions. So you get some popcorn and you get your drink, etc., and then you'll be able to watch. And so I guess I can understand how The Pit and ER and those types of shows are probably Grey's Anatomy, probably of interest to people in healthcare because like they recognize it so much in the same way like I like News Radio and WKRP in Cincinnati and all those good shows. So we got to get to a break. We'll come back. MB's Point to Ponder is coming up. You're on In the Know.
April Fool's Day is about catching people off guard with surprises they never see coming, like the prank pulled on residents of Sitka, Alaska on April 1st, 1974. People woke up that morning to black smoke rising from the crater of Mount Edgecombe just a few miles away, which hadn't erupted in nearly 800 years. 911 was flooded with so many calls that the Coast Guard sent a helicopter to investigate. The source of the trouble, it turns out, was not lava and hot ash. Somebody had hauled 70 tires to the crater, doused them in kerosene, and lit them on fire. That somebody was local prankster Oliver Bicker, who also spray painted a message in the snow, 50-foot tall letters that spelled April Fool. I love a good-natured prank, except for one thing. They're usually at someone else's expense. They don't really accomplish much good, except for the people laughing, of course. Which got me to thinking, this April Fool's Day, let's surprise the people we love with something positive. Let's catch them off guard with small acts of kindness they never see coming. Instead of a practical joke, handwrite a note of appreciation, prepare their favorite meal, surprise them with a spontaneous date night. Almost anything is a good idea. Just do something that makes your loved one feel loved instead of fooled. For more to help you thrive, go to focusonthefamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The following is a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I had a lot of credit card debt and it stressed me out. But what I thought was a solution turned out to be a problem. I kept hearing ads about debt settlement that seemed too good to be true. And actually, it was. When I called, they told me to stop paying my bills. That didn't sound right to me at all, so I hung up. Later, I found out that debt settlement is bad, real bad. Then I learned that there is a right way to pay off your credit cards. It's called a debt management program from the great team at Trinity. Trinity had a plan. In the end, I paid off my bills, I saved thousands, and I even improved my credit score.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-936-5348.
My name is Heather. Please forget debt settlement and remember Trinity Debt Management.
1-800-936-5348.
The second I see that Chick-fil-A text in the group chat, I'm throwing my shoes on and running out the door. Hey, I'm Layla.
And I'm Kaylin.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is
how it feels like an easygoing wing.
The chicken adds the most flavor. It's juicy and seasoned.
The biscuit is just very light and airy and fluffy, just like a cloud.
I also love to put jelly on mine so it's sweet and savory.
It's a good start to the day.
Mornings are a little bit brighter with the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit and Simply Orange Juice. Available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ETHOS.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
3-year-old Reagan was treated at St. Jude.
Sparkly.
Now she can spend her days playing dress-up.
I look beautiful in this.
Instead of thinking about cancer. The team at St. Jude has helped push the overall childhood cancer survival rate in the U.S. from 20% to more than 80%, and we won't stop. Let's help more kids just be kids. Learn more at stjude.org. Finding cures, saving children.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. It's Whitney Wednesday, so we like to do Would You Rather on Wednesdays. Would you rather be thrown into a skateboarding competition without any experience or a surfing competition?
Surfing.
Yeah, surfing.
Surfing sounds more fun.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you'd be in the water.
That's a trip to the ocean.
And not concrete. I'd have concrete
Yeah, because
burns everywhere.
I would too.
Would you rather be a professional polo player or bowler?
Bowler.
Yeah.
Really? I figured because horses were involved, you would choose polo.
I'm getting old.
Would you rather race someone on a jet ski or a dirt bike?
Who's driving? Me?
Yeah.
Jet ski.
Yeah.
Not in the
Back on the
ocean.
water. Yeah.
Not in the ocean. So on the lake.
Maybe if I'm driving.
Smooth water. Would you rather wrestle someone 50 pounds heavier than you or face professional players in a rugby match?
Wrestle someone 50 pounds heavier than me.
Yeah.
Rugby players are rough, man.
Yes, they are.
And even someone 50 pounds more, you can use with the proper leverage.
Yes.
You can be effective.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I probably could. I could be sneaky.
Would you rather make the game-winning basket at the buzzer or hit a home run in the bottom of the ninth?
Basket. It's indoors.
I don't know.
I'd rather
Both are really awesome.
I'd rather hit a home run.
I think,
Yep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
go for comfort. The indoors.
I don't know. Both would be really cool.
This was maybe 2008, something like that. This is the last year of the old Yankee Stadium. Dad and a couple of guys and I went to a series at Yankee Stadium, and it was a day game. The final game was a day game. It was a getaway day. They were traveling, and the Yankees won in the bottom of the ninth on a home run. And I have never been in an environment that loud and raucous like
In a day game?
A day game.
I think about Freddie Freeman's Grand Slam at the World Series, and I think about the whole like turning third, going home, and everybody standing there looking at you.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
Well, and just that old stadium too. I mean, we get that many people moving. It was kind of just like it was moving and swaying, and it's the loudest environment I've ever been in. You know.
Yeah.
But there've been some times at Rupp that it's been really loud.
Yeah.
But I don't get there a lot. Today is today's highlight in history. This date in 1945, American forces launched the amphibious invasion of Okinawa during World War II. Ali McGraw is 87 today. Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito is 76. Susan Boyle is 65. David Oyelowo is 50. And comedian actor Taran Killam is 44. Gone but not forgotten, Rachmaninoff, the composer, in 1873. Lon Chaney in 1883. And Gordon Jump in 1932. He played the big guy on WKRP. He was Arthur Carlson, and then later went on to be the Maytag man, the Maytag repairman.
Okay.
He'd sit around. He didn't have anything to do because Maytags don't ever tear up. That's not true, by the way.
Yeah. Lies.
Let's see. They don't make appliances like they used to.
They really don't.
No.
Chart toppers for today.
I want some red roses for a blue lady.
Vaughn Monroe, Red Roses for a Blue Lady. You probably could have guessed that was the name of the song. All right, 1958, Laurie London. So, is this Laurie London, the picture you're looking at? This looks like alfalfa.
It does. But the name, I mean, that was a male name.
There's a there. Laurie's can be male.
Little Lemon.
Yeah.
Hans. He's got you and me, baby. Let's go to the 1960s. In 67, Mamas and the Papas, and Dedicated to the One I Love. Okay, let's find something that picks us up a little bit more. Let's go 1976. Okay, let's go to The Greatest Night in Pop.
Oh, yeah.
85. Okay, let's go to 1994. So if you didn't live through the We Are the World phenomenon, take in that documentary, that The Greatest Night in Pop. It is really good. It's enlightening. Mariah Carey, number one in 94. Okay, let's get to the 2000s. We'll get to 2003.
Oh.
I called you last night in the hotel.
Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow picture. If you had 2 independent Kid Rock mentions on your bingo card for today's show, call it out. You're the winner. That's in 2003. Then in 2012, Janelle Monáe and Fun got together with We Are Young.
That time period was fun. That musical, that couple of years
The
there, they had
2012
pretty
era.
cool. Yeah, they had pretty cool.
Well, I mean, that was kind of the Adele era as well. And then in 5 years ago today, we got some shopping secrets, some shopping tips from Justin Bieber. So we know where he procures, where he
All of
gets
his
all
stuff.
of his provisions. We know where his provisions come from.
Yeah.
Whitney, thanks for coming. Don't forget the Disaster Preparedness Summit tomorrow,
Yeah, come
4:30
see
to
us.
6:30 at the Extension Service.
Get some fun stuff.
MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today is Easter is the day that changed everything. Easter is the day that changed everything. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Whitney Carmen, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG Litchfield. The Twin Lakes Best Mix. K105.